gentlemen, welcome to another edition of high school football here on Vype. We have a good one for you this evening as the Highlanders of St. Andrews are going up against the Flyers of St. Joseph out of Victoria, Texas. It is in the mid-100s here, and unfortunately St. Andrews is wearing the dark-colored uniforms, about to receive the kick. Victoria setting up to kick it to them, and we'll have a little pooch kick. Caught at the 35, it's going to be returned around the outside, out near the 45. Decent return there. Alongside me is Matt tonight, and Matt, how are you feeling about tonight's game?
This should be a good one. The Highlanders are looking for their first win of the season. They were down by Lhasa 2 weeks ago. They'll look to bounce back at home tonight to try and get a good win over the Victoria St. Joseph Flyers. That was a good play for them, as last time they fumbled the first kickoff and almost gave it to Lhasa. This time they handled it perfectly and have good field position.
That's one thing we'll keep an eye on is turnovers. Can you keep control of the ball? There were a lot of turnovers the 2 weeks ago when we were here as the first handoff, successful handoff. Nope, quarterback keeper fooled everybody, including me. He's down the sideline at the 20. One man to beat at first play. Boy, can't draw it up any better than that. Jake Campbell, one play, one touchdown, but there is a flag on the field near the 20.
Out of the flag here, still a good play by the Highlanders. Sets the tone early with the big run, even if it comes back.
We do have a hold. We'll see where they spot it. Yeah, like you said, Mac, great start right there. As we saw 2 weeks ago, first play was a fumble. Last week, not a whole lot, just looking at the score, 49-2, not a whole lot to build on right there out of the gate. Yes, it's negated, but yes, you have a good play to kind of give yourself motivation. But it's going to be a penalty back to the 47-yard line.
Looks like the hold there didn't really negate much yardage, just took away the touchdown run, so we'll just start first down and basically 10 once again.
And trips now to the left. Campbell going to take the pass, and this time does hand it off, bouncing it outside before he's wrapped up. Still on his feet, thrown down. Going to be a loss of maybe 5.
He's McDaniel there on the carry. Good job to him and to the St. Andrews coaches trying to establish the run early. Opens up their playbook as we saw in the second half of the game 2 weeks ago. Unfortunately, Victoria St. Joseph expecting it and gets the loss of about 3 yards.
Like you said, there was a lot of positives from that game, that season opener, in the second half especially. Lhasa didn't really put them away, and the Highlanders were able to come back. Campbell looking to throw now. Quick drop, and now drop ball. Possibly waiting for the hit near the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up third down.
That was Aiden Key there. He had some problems with catching the ball in our first, as we keep referring to, the first game against Lhasa. He had a couple of downfield drops that could have been touchdowns. They're also dropping that short pass, creating a third down and long.
So, again, first play, called back, and let's see if they can convert this long 3rd and 13. Campbell with McDaniel behind him. Offsides. Free play is going to be thrown up. Going for Key, and just out of the reach, maybe out of bounds. Campbell takes a hit as well. We'll see what the call is, and they do signal offsides.
Good job there to Campbell for just throwing it up, giving Aiden Key a chance downfield, just out of his reach, out of bounds, but still, Highlanders will keep the third down, now 5 yards closer to the first down.
I always wonder what the mindset is when you have those offside plays. You know it's a free play, but you know in maybe a half a second, and you have to, as a quarterback especially, you have to make the decision to throw it up, give your guy a chance. That's just kind of a weird mindset to be in, that, hey, I can do whatever I want this play.
Definitely, and that's a big tribute to practicing those types of plays, knowing that you just have whatever, you have any option you want, and just knowing if in that event what you will do if you do get a free play, knowing where your receiver will be, at least down the field, just to give him a chance.
Campbell under pressure now, fires it deep, and what a catch! Turning around to make the grab at the 30 was Max Flint.
Looks like that was actually number 8, Trayson Armstrong. He's new this year, a new sophomore to the Highlanders squad, big recruit there. He is both a defensive end and tight end for this team, makes a big impact first down Highlanders.
Yeah, that was not as easy as he made it look. Had to turn his body around to catch that, as we have trips to the far side, first down from the 30, read option, handoff to McDaniel, goes nowhere.
Highlanders just trying to establish the run here in their first drive. So far, Victoria St. Joseph has been right there to meet them at the line. Look for the Highlanders to try and get more creative with their runs, trying to get their receivers or tight ends involved, trying to get a lead blocker, something to just pop a couple of good runs and establish that here early in the game.
And again, we saw what it did the first play, we saw what it did that second half. A lot of the read option type stuff. We saw the first play was the quarterback. It looks like they ran the same exact play but handed it to the running back. That second play, so again, really keeps the defense guessing. And like you said, Matt, keeping that creativity there. We have 3 receivers to the near side, 2 men down there. Bootleg from Campbell, drops back, throws it, and in between 2 wide receivers, he was under pressure too.
Good job there by the Victoria St. Joseph defense, getting to Jay Campbell. He's unable to get an accurate pass, and it means they're down and long again for St. Andrews. Let's see what they create here to try and move the chains. If not, it looks like either, depending on how much they get, could be a four down territory or a long field goal, maybe even a punt. Maybe even a punt.
Yeah, if you're Campbell, you're really under pressure a lot more than you'd like to be there. So creativity with the legs be such an asset as Campbell throws one up to Key, underthrows it, and interception dropped.
St. Andrews gets lucky there. Jay Campbell, as you said, underthrows Aiden Key down the field. Means that they'll be in 4th down 11. Interesting to see what they do here is they're kind of in no man's land. They're sitting right now at the 31. It would end up being a 58-yard field goal, which for most high schoolers is out of their reach. It's not like the pros where they can just run out and kick a 60-yard field goal. So it looks like the Highlanders will stay on the field because it's kind of a weird punting territory as well. So we'll see what they're able to try and create to get these 11 yards for the first down.
It looked like they were going deep the last play, just underthrown. Campbell looked to go deep again, gets it to the man out of the backfield. It's going to be short of the first down and down at about the 25-yard line.
Jay Campbell just throws straight to Trayson Armstrong, trying to give him a chance to make a play in the open field. Victoria St. Joseph immediately tackles them, and it'll give first down to the Flyers.
Let's see what we have out of the defense. That second half was really something to hold your hat on. Good film. And a lot of credit to that defensive line too, really making the quarterback run of Lassa. Burned him in that first half, and it's really held under control. Is right on cue, the defensive line sniffing out the read option. And tackle for loss, looks to be lost at 2.
Good job there by the entire Highlander line, able to get into the backfield, gets kind of the team sack there, able to bring down the quarterback, and now the Flyers are behind the chains, 2nd down. Good here for St. Andrews. They'll try and keep them behind the chains for 3rd down as well.
Quarterback Aiden Aragon drops back. All the linemen chop the defensive line, and a quick pass out to the far side. That's them about 2.
Good job there again on the defense for St. Andrews. That was their kryptonite 2 weeks ago. We're referring to that game as much as we can just to show their improvement from 2 weeks ago. That was a big problem of quick passes ending up in big gains. Right there, the defense right there to make the tackle. Now 3rd down and long.
And bootleg, and gets to the far side, just shy of the 1st down. This is going to be 4th down, and again, going back to the first week, I want to say it was 20 to 7 going into halftime, and it ended up being 23 to 7. So really smothering defense from 1st to 2nd half. So really hoping to continue that. Again, last week it was 49-2 at Fort Worth Country Day. So far being outscored 72-9 this season. Trying to get that first win, and under the heat of the Texas sun, we'll see if they can get it here this evening. Aragon gonna take the little chip punt, no receivers back there, hits at the 30 and takes a Highlander bounce, forward 5 yards, finally downed, and they're gonna mark him at 35. We'll take a quick break, and Highlander offense will come back and try and score some points. Campbell back to pass, and actually hands it off this time on a draw play up the middle, and Will May breaking some tackles, and finally gets stuck, but right at midfield, good gain of about 15 there.
Good job to both Will May, the running back, and the offensive line getting down the field, making good blocks, able to give space to May in order to make the good big run. 1st down Highlanders at the 50.
What we saw a couple weeks ago is a flyer is trying to make his way to the sideline. We did have 3 running backs injured or just not available really at the end of that game 2 weeks ago. We had 2 of them with cramps, and then Jaquise McDaniel had 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, so he was thrown out, I believe, in the 3rd quarter. So we have not so much injuries, but really the elements definitely play a factor, especially in the 2nd half. So Will May was definitely a big factor in the 1st half, and we'll see what kind of impact he can make here as Campbell drops back over the middle, just behind the receiver, a little bit about a 5-yard gain, instead falls incomplete, 2nd down.
A little bit off the target there by Jake Campbell, a bit behind the intended receiver. If he could have made that connection, it could have been definitely at least the 1st down, maybe more. The look to try and replicate something sort of like that, trying to get yardage here on 2nd down and 10.
And again, just while I'm thinking of it, we want to give a shout out to the volunteer chain gang. A lot of parents come to just watch the game. Some parents tonight are actually going to participate in the game. Standing out there on the far side in the sun, just waiting for it to go under the side of the building, as Campbell, not going to fool anyone this time. He's got 3 flyers and takes a nice shot. Picks up a couple, but that was hard-earned yards.
Good job by the flyer defense, able to stake out that run. Was not fooled, as you said, that time. Instead, gets him after about 1 or 2 yards.
So again, kind of in that 3rd down situation, we have sort of in a tough spot as we have a timeout by the Highlanders. We'll step aside, see what they come up with on 3rd and long, and we'll come back. Back here at Beck Stadium, 3rd and 8 upcoming. See what the Highlanders go with. And boy, the entire D-line jumps, free play again, going up to Key down the far side, catches it for the touchdown.
Big play there for the Highlanders. This time, Aiden Key does not drop the long pass, able to grab it in off of the offside, or at least we think it's going to be an offside. Means that the Highlanders take the early 7-0 lead. Big play there again for the Highlanders. They'll put up almost double what they've put up the entire season.
Exactly, yeah, it's a really kind of, getting gifted back a touchdown. You had the first one taken off on the first play, and now you're kind of gifted one back there on the penalties. So give one, get one, take advantage of every opportunity you have, as the extra point going to be taken by Will Riley. And we're going to get a stoppage here. Some movement on the near side. Not sure what the call is though.
Referee trying to figure out who moved, whether it was the offense or the defense.
They're going to say false start. Yep, definitely movement by both sides.
Makes the kick a little bit harder for the freshman kicker, Will Riley, stepping in kind of a new kicker for the Highlanders, trying to establish himself as a reliable man in the special teams.
That looked pretty good. Pretty reliable there.
The freshman, Will Riley, with a successful PAT. 7-0.
So 7-0. We'll see what the Flyers can answer with. Again, we'll step aside and let everyone catch their breath. 6:10 to go in the first quarter. Highlanders lead 7-0. Back here on the campus of St. Andrews Episcopal, down just southwest of Austin. Thank you here for tuning in on this Friday night, wherever you might be. Highlanders taking a 7-0 lead on the free play touchdown to Aiden Key. And we're going to kick this one away. 2 men back receiving. Riley, the extra point taker, gonna boot this one away. And this one just gonna lie up short to the far man. Cutting it back inside and hit with a bit of force there at the 35.
Good hit there by the Highlanders. Able to get to the far man quickly. Able to stop him in his tracks, giving the Flyers okay field position, but not the best. Kind of starting around the 35.
Again, not the farthest kick, but not a far return, so kind of a good situation here. We'll see what the Flyers can muster up here. Again, Aiden Aragon gonna roll out. Now Fires back. And that's screen set up on this near side. Good pursuit from the backfield. His blockers were down near midfield, but Highlander defense able to wrap him up.
Good play design there for the Flyers. The quarterback, Moose, partially from the pressure towards the opposite side of the field, then throws across his body to our near side, able to kind of fill the defense a little bit and give his man a little bit more space. Good play call there by the Flyers.
Well, it's kind of like you throw into the blitz, you have some more space, and that's kind of what they did there, but the Highlander defense kind of getting him behind the blockers is now, Aragon has his pass tipped. Could have had a big man touchdown there.
Number 70, Graveswood, gets in there, able to get past the line and quickly into the backfield, able not to get to the quarterback fully, but just passes his pass down. Now it's third down, and approximately, I'd say 3 or 4.
Again, can't say too much about the D-line, again, how they're playing right now, and just doing great contain work. Again, you don't have to sack the quarterback, but you just have to put him under pressure. As Aragon looks to the side, Wyatt Fetters, wide receiver, actually at running back now. He gets the handoff and just does make it past the marker.
Good effort there by the wide receiver turn running back, able to just kind of make some moves to get just enough yardage to move the chains. Now the Flyers will have a fresh set of downs heading towards Highlander territory.
And running back, it's usually number 28, Will Marlowe. I don't believe we've seen him tonight, as Fetters now doesn't get the handoff. Aragon goes down midfield and right through the hands again, a little thrown behind, but good defense.
Good defense there for sophomore Mateo Salinas, able to be right there on the receiver. Yes, thrown a little bit behind him, but also give some credit there for the incomplete pass to the quarterback there.
So 2nd and 10, 5:06 to go here in this first quarter as the sun is starting to set. Give those players on the far side some reprieve, and now Fetters up the middle, breaks a couple tackles, and good open field tackle slows any forward progress.
We've seen early here in the Flyers' second drive of the running back making some good moves to try and get extra yardage. We'll look for the defense to try and restrict him, and then end up eventually finding him in the backfield, or the Flyers will continue to do that and open up their playbook as much as possible.
So they've got 2 backs in the backfield. Highlanders crowding the box, and this one goes right up the middle. Fumble! Highlanders pointing that they have it, and they do. Great defensive stop, and it's a good start for St. Andrews.
There is the running back again, just trying to get the first down. Highlanders there to meet him, takes the ball straight out of his hands, and immediately on the ground to grab the ball. First down, Highlanders.
It's really a good field position that they have, and able to go up 2 scores possibly in this first quarter. 4:08 left in this first quarter. Both teams with all their timeouts, and Highlanders with a lot of the momentum here. And Campbell comes in the shotgun formation with Will May setting up behind him. And right up to Will May, tripped up. Good tackle, he had a lot of room to run.
Good tackle there, just getting the shoelaces just enough to get Will May down. Picks up maybe a couple of inches, but not much. Again, good tackle there on the line. He had some open field past that man on the line.
He is a very patient runner. We had a kind of a long, monologue about that a couple weeks ago. A lot of patient runs by really all the running backs for the Highlanders, and saw Will May being a little bit more the explosive back, but stopped there and is now in the backfield again, getting a majority of the carries tonight. Quick pass and in the hands and out from James Hill. Junior can't haul it in.
Just unable to grab that pass there. Thrown a little bit low, but still catchable. they'll try and reduce these drops. It's kind of been a theme throughout the 2 games that we've seen of dropping passes that are pretty easy catches. They'll try and reduce those as the game and the season go on.
One, I think we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Well, you were actually mentioning it during the break. It was this break that they were ending up putting themselves in a lot of 3rd and longs. Really, to avoid those 3rd and longs, you have to kind of chop your way forward on 1st down, and there's a false start. So a lot of pre-movement, pre-snap movement by both sides starting off.
That was also the receiver who usually is just watching the quarterback to see when it's snapped. Tough false start there for the Highlanders, making them an even bigger hole. 3rd down and going to be about 15 now. As you kind of said, the 3rd down and longs just make it harder to get down the field, get points. They'll need to try and, as you said, decrease on the drops, maybe get their runs at least a couple of positive yards on 1st and 2nd down, just to try and avoid these 3rd down and longs. But this time, completed pass for a 1st down, again there to Trace and Armstrong.
Again, good bullet there, getting them the 1st down, and it's a really great ball there. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 38. Now Armstrong will line up as a tight end here on the near side. Campbell with McDaniel and hands it off to McDaniel, finds a seam up the middle and is thrown back before he can go any further. Gain of about 5.
Good job by Jaquise McDaniel there, just finding the tiny little hole in defense, able to get some positive yardage. There's exactly what the Highlanders need, getting positive and a chunk on 1st down to try and avoid getting into those 3rd downs and longs, which have been kind of a theme on their first couple of drives. Good job.
McDaniel just gets past the marker. 1st down there as we are under 2 minutes in this 1st quarter.
Good job there again by Jaquise McDaniel, just able to get enough for the 1st down, moving the chains. Good job there on that set of downs to stay out of 3rd and long situations. Able to get the 1st down even without third down even needed. Now have the chance to score again and take an even bigger lead.
Let's see if they go back to the runs up the middle. Those have really been successful. Or they could go back to those short passes. They go run up the middle, and boy, don't listen to me. Flag comes in late. Not sure what there was. Kind of met at the line of scrimmage, a loss of a couple. Maybe the ref saw a face mask or something in there. Again, it was really as there were multiple flyers around him, so we'll see what the call is here. And it is going to be a face mask. They're facing right towards the official, and he threw it. So free 15 for the Highlanders, and that'll put them in great field position here.
Exactly as you just said, this 15-yard penalty gives them even closer to the goal line, puts them in really good position, at least to get some points. Hopefully can get the touchdown, especially down here inside of the red zone. That's what they'll look to do, is just try and punch it in however they can. If not a big deal to try and go for the field goal. But obviously, touchdown, much better than a field goal.
Something we saw a couple weeks ago, there was a goal line situation to the south end zone on to the viewer's right side that was stuffed after multiple attempts. And here we have a little jet sweep, trying to make it to the outside and lowers his shoulder. That is James Hill getting a few extra yards the hard way.
Good Good job there by the Highlanders coaches to try and find a good little play, trying to get creative with the runs to try and get the defense off balance and off guard. They are able to get some yardage, about 8, and they'll look to keep it going here on second down.
Really being successful in a lot of areas, especially with that defensive line. We can't really say enough about them, how they've handled this game to start. Campbell has McDaniel behind him. Two receivers either side. The draw play took a little while to develop, but defensive line not fooled for the Flyers.
Little thing we've seen here in the first quarter, both defensive lines getting into the backfield, getting past the offensive line, and getting to the quarterback. We'll see if that continues on both sides of the field, both the Flyers and the Highlanders. Their defensive lines making an impact. We'll see if that continues throughout the game.
Yeah, and even if they get the ball out as a quarterback, you're not able to stand back there and get enough time for your receivers to go down the field, so you're making an impact in the small ways that you can, keeping the yardage per attempt down low. And that'll take us to the end of the quarter. 7-0 from the Highlanders here at Beck Stadium. We'll take a break and come back for the second quarter. Stay tuned. Back here is Campbell. Looks to go deep. 50-50 ball. Goes and hits the inflatable, looking for Key.
A little bit long there on the pass, but good idea to try and at least challenge the cornerback on the edge, give his guy a chance, but just a little bit long out of bounds. That brings up fourth down, and it looks like that the field goal unit is coming on the field.
So Riley coming in, this is almost where he kicked an extra point last time after having a 5-yard infraction. Bit of a low snap, hold is down, kick is up, kick is good. Freshman Will Riley having a good night so far, 2 for 2.
Good job to him. As we've been saying, he's only a freshman. Good future for him, able to get the extra point and the field goal.
11:49 to go, Highlanders up 10-0. We'll take a quick break and come back, see if the Flyers can respond. So 10-0 is what we have here at Beck Stadium. Highlanders already more than doubling their season total for points, and this is a St. Joe team that has been in some high-scoring matchups, 32-27 last week and 42-23 in their first game, which was a win. And this is a much better kick. Returner is going to take it at the 5, brings it out past the 20, and lowers his shoulder, still going forward, falls forward to the 30.
Same direction there for the freshman kicker, able to get it kind of into our right corner of the end zone, near side corner. They're a little bit deeper, able to pin the offense back even more. Again, good coverage there by the kick team to get them down before any super big gain of yardage.
And as a kicker on the kickoff, you want to put it into that corner, so you kind of hitting them back, get your coverage team to only cover one side of the field. You're cutting the field in half for that returner almost, and making it harder for them to reverse it. So nice kick by Riley, and really having an all-around good game as the line cuts again. This catch going to be made, and we'll see where they spot him. Flag is thrown from the umpire. We'll see what the call is. I don't know if he was seeing what was going on the line. I think he was looking that direction and then threw the flag. So we'll see what the call is.
Good tackle there by number 6, Max Flint, and the flag is waved off, which means that play will count. Good tackle again by the corner, number 6, Max Flint, able to get the receiver down almost immediately. Second down.
Back now, I believe that is Will Marlowe. It is on the option. Good tackle there. Able to wrap him up just past the line of scrimmage.
Owen Gap there on the edge, gets down the option to the running back. Now it's third down and long, something that SAS has had earlier in the game. Now the Flyers get the same treatment.
Just under 11 minutes here, and again, this is a big stop. This is going to put them in a punting situation, and they're really going to be in good field position. Put up some more points, already leading 10-0, trying to go up more. Have a 3rd and 10 to deal with first. Roll out to the right, the throwback, setting up the screen. There's 3 Highlanders right there.
Great coverage there by the Highlanders. They had men on the quarterback and on the running back. No place for the quarterback or running back to go. Big tackle for loss there, 4th down, and really long punt formation on the field for the Flyers and for the Highlanders.
Got 2 returners back there. And they move up a little bit, as this is an option that some teams do for punting. They have their quarterback just take a couple steps back and get some room, and that's exactly what he does. And this is going to take a big bounce for the Flyers, and it's going to be down at about the 24.
Crazy kick there from the quarterback, turned also kind of kicker. Big kick there. I estimate about, I haven't done the math, but about 40-ish yards. Big punt there, not what the Highlanders were expecting. It just went straight over the returner's head, down at around the 24-yard line of the Highlanders.
Again, kind of as a returner, you don't really necessarily need to run it back all the time. You just need to stop that progress of the ball to prevent those type of bounces. You saw it help them. You go in the Highlanders' way the first time, actually gained about 5 yards, but that time they lost about 20, and now are back inside their own 25. Campbell, it looks like McDaniel in the backfield. Couple tight ends on this near side. McDaniel bounces it to this near side. Stiff arms one man, can't stiff arm the second. About a 5-yard pickup.
Good run there, tough run by Chase McDaniel. Good tackle there also by the Flyers defense, able to get to him, take him down before any more further progress, only able to get 2 or 3 there, but still better than what the Highlanders have had. Still able to get positive yardage on first down. Good step towards not being in those third down and long situations that they had trouble with in the first couple of drives.
Absolutely, and something I've noticed from both teams, early in the season you might notice a bit more mistakes. We've kind of had that with penalties, but really excellent form tackling from both sides, from the linebacker position, the defensive lines. We haven't really seen too much of the secondary needing to make a play, and that one thrown a bit behind Aiden Paradoza.
Again, just a little bit behind him, as you said. Just trying to create chemistry with the receivers as it is early in the season, trying to connect up with them. Quarterback, receiver being on the same page of where the route is, where to put the ball. They're just a little bit off of the mark. They'll try third down, and unfortunately they're along 8 here.
And just want to reinforce the correction there. Number 13 is not James Hill, it is Adrian Paradoza. So apologies for any earlier mistakes. We were informed during a break that is, in fact, Adrian Paradoza the second. So that is number 13 for the night. Campbell under pressure and wrapped up. Nearly lost the ball, had it in a dangerous position. That's not what you want.
There, the Flyers brought a corner blitz, able to get to Jake Campbell and gets the sack. Flyers will get the ball back with about 8 minutes left in the quarter.
It's a great job after the what I believe was a 3-and-out for the Flyers, getting a 3-and-out themselves on defense, and we'll see if the Highlanders can have a great punt as well. I believe this is Riley in at punting duties now. Takes a snap, bobbles this one, has some room, gets a sky-high punt though, angling towards the sidelines, and dies near the... We do have a touch actually by the receiving team, looking to possibly pick it up. We saw a lot of scrambles, and I think it is still Flyers ball.
Weird looking play there to analyze. You had a muff snap there, a little bit of a dark spot on what has been a so far really good night for the freshman kicker. Then punts it toward, angling towards the left, short punt. Then you had the Highlanders thought that there may have been a touch by the receiving team. It appears, according to the referees, that there was not. So now St. Joseph's has the field position now in really good field position inside of the Highlander territory.
Yeah, really wild play, and Marlowe is going to take it forward for some yards. Let's see what they spot. Looks like a gain of about 4. Under 7 minutes to go here. Flyers knocking on the door now inside the red zone, down 10-0, trying to get some points before halftime, and in prime position to do so. Marlowe again in the backfield, fullback to Aragon's right. He follows that fullback up the middle, has a bit of daylight before he is taken down, and does get enough for the first down.
Nice run there by the running back for the Flyers, moving the chains now into prime territory to try and strike back at this large lead. First down and goal for the Flyers. Highlanders do the 10-0 lead. Flyers trying to cut into that.
That's really uncharacteristic of what we've seen from both defensive lines so far. Run up the middle, kind of going right through him as Marlowe evades one tackler, and looks like we have an injured Highlander kind of limping after the play. That might be Armstrong, but looks to be all right. Again, we saw some cramping, especially in that second half. There were plenty of cramps by both sides, and sun has gone down, but still, sure, definitely in the triple digits for the feels like.
Definitely something to watch out for during this game. It is blazing hot. At kickoff, it was, I think, around 105 was the feel like temperature, which is for all Texans that are watching this podcast, pretty normal, but still very, very hot for anyone that's not from Texas. So, something to look out for, the heat causing cramps between both teams.
And an obvious face mask penalty. I was on the far side of the field, but you can see his face mask almost turn around completely. It was about as clear as it gets, and you're the Highlanders, you gotta make some sort of a stop here. 5:20 to go. Haven't really been able to do much the last couple plays. And this time the fullback's going to take it, follow Marlowe, and bowls his way forward. And see where they call it. Again, we are far away, so it did look close to the line. And ref's going to mark him short.
Hard to see there. The fullback did get in. Weird, cool looking play call. Also kind of unusual. You kind of had a fake handoff to the running back, then a handoff to the fullback with the running back being a lead blocker, just not able to get into the end zone. Second down and very short to go.
Again, give credit to number 40. We don't have the opposing team roster, but I love seeing the fullback get some play, especially with the big neck pad. Getting it again, barrels his way forward. It's a grown man run in for the touchdown. 10-6 our score.
Similar looking play call there for the Flyers. This time able to go straight into the end zone. Now it is 10-6 with the extra point upcoming.
See if the kicker here can be successful. 4:21 to go in this second quarter. Kick is down, and is it going to make it? Doesn't have enough. No, it does not. That was up in the air for a long time, but ball short.
Looks like the kicker may have gotten the bottom side of the ball, causing it to kind of rainbow, but still short of the goalpost itself, so the extra point is no good.
We'll take a quick break. 4:21 to go in the second quarter. Come back after this. So we have a lineman doing a little pooch kick. He's going to go line drive this time, and boy, on the one hop, going to the outside and dragged down by the inside of the neck on the front side. So no horse collar, down at the 30.
Good tackle there by the coverage team for the kicker. Again, Mateo Salinas is the returner. Last time we saw that kicker, it was a little pooch kick that Mateo was able to secure and run back. That time, got it on the one hop, secured it, but then was almost immediately tackled. Highlanders have the ball around the 29-yard line. First down and 10.
And they do have the ability to kind of rely on the run here. 4:09 left, so they could take it down as much as they want or try and score. They did receive to start this game, so possibly going to take this hole down as much as they can as Will May. Again, another patient run, gets him a couple.
Good job there by Will May and the offensive line. I talked to the center, Gus Stratton, this week. who said that to watch out for this O-line because they've made a bunch of improvement in the off-season. They are still fairly young, but have worked to try and improve to their best of their abilities. Look for them to keep up with the blocks and getting these running backs space to work.
Single coverage down here on the near side. We'll see how that O-line fares. And fake handoff to nobody, but doesn't need it. Campbell going for the edge, goes out of bounds. Is kindly shepherded out. We'll see where they mark. I think he's going to be short of the first down. 3rd and 2.
Looks like a little bit of a miscommunication between quarterback and running back. Running back went to the left. Jake Campbell went to the right. So Jake just grabs it and takes it himself. Now only a 3rd down and manageable 2. Clock stops at 3:19 with Campbell going out of bounds.
So Campbell with 2 receivers up top. And another free play again. Campbell, this one's actually going to be stopped though. There's actually movement by both sides. And again, a lot of pre-snap movement by both sides. We didn't really have that 2 weeks ago. We had every other penalty in the rule book, I believe, that first game. But this week we're really getting our fair share of false starts and offsides penalties.
Both teams, as you kind of said, have been having some pre-snap movement. You've seen a couple of free plays, one of them being that free play touchdown long pass from Campbell to Aiden Key. So they have definitely made an impact, the penalties have, on the actual game. They'll try and shore up that movement because it just puts them further behind the sticks. They'll try and shore it up for the second half as we move into it.
And really pushing them back. What was a 3rd and 2, now a 3rd and 7 in a all too familiar spot for the Highlanders. 3:16 to go in the second quarter. May shifts to the left side of Campbell and looks right, and that was behind Key. Had some space if he throws it in front of him, but just behind.
We have again a little bit of miscommunication between the quarterback and the wide receiver. It's about maybe the 3rd or 4th time that we've had a pass behind the receiver. Obviously, still early in the season, only the 3rd game. Eventually, as the season will go on, those will become less and less as they get used to each other's speeds and routes and all that kind of stuff. But this time, behind the receiver, incomplete pass, 4th down, and a punt situation for the Highlanders.
Riley redeems himself there. No returners back. We'll see where it bounces, and it goes down to the 29. Under 3 minutes to go. We'll see if the Flyers can come and possibly put up 3 or take the lead. Now down 10-6. We'll see what they can do coming back after this. And we're back here. Under 3 minutes to go. We'll see what the Flyers can do. That's a good chunk of yardage on 1st down, getting them to about 2nd and 4. And we have Aragon. We have Aragon back there calling the shots. Marlowe setting up to his right. Trips on the near side. Marlowe takes a handoff up the middle, has a little bit of space, but is thrown down before he can get the 1st down.
Nice tackle there from the Highlanders, stopping the running back short of the line to gain. Puts the Flyers in a manageable 3rd down, but still 3rd down nonetheless. Trying to get off the field and possibly even take the ball back for themselves and make a chance at extending their lead in the 2 minutes left in the quarter.
Yeah, under 2 minutes to go. Both teams have 3 timeouts. We haven't seen any timeouts used so far, so We'll see how they wind the play clock down. They're about 12 seconds now. As Marlowe stuffed in the backfield, doesn't matter who took it that time. And it's going to be a tackle for loss either way. So 4th down, clock is running with 1:30. Now we do have a timeout. So let's set things up for you. 4th and 2, 1:29 left. We have 2 timeouts by the Highlanders. They're going to get the ball back. So they do have actually 1 timeout. And so 1:29, 1 timeout. Is that enough time to go in high school football? We'll see. I mean, we did have Aiden Key have that free play.
I think it'll be interesting to see what the Highlanders do here on the supposed punting formation for the Flyers. You never know. You would think that they would try to go for the ball to try and get even more favorable position, but obviously you run the risk there of getting a running to the kicker or a roughing the kicker, and you don't want that because they're within 5 yards, so that would cause most likely a 1st down. So it's kind of a weird situation for the Highlanders. They'll try to, this time definitely, if they don't get to the punter, to try and stop the ball with their receivers. You can see them currently backing up to make sure that the punt does not go over their heads, to at least stop the ball and maybe even get a run back. But 1:30 should probably be enough to at least attempt to try and get in field goal range.
Aragon steps back and does take the punt. It's blocked. Return opportunity picked up at the 15. No, he's still kicking it forward, and we'll see who has the ball. Bit of a rugby scrum at the 5. We'll see who has the ball. It is recovered by the Highlanders, so they do have an opportunity to score here. 1:21, a lot better field position than they thought they would have it. Again, that is Gus Stratton. 1:21 left, 1 timeout. Highlanders in great position.
Big play for Gus Stratton there. As we mentioned earlier, I did talk to him this week. He's coming off of double knee surgery last November after the conclusion of the season. It's a big block for him. He had to go through physical therapy for 4 months to get back, but now he's back. Got that block there. He also in the spring is the goalie for the lacrosse team.
Multi-sport athlete, and now McDaniel gets away from one. He's trying the edge. Gets away from the second, dives forward, and in for the touchdown. 2nd, 3rd, and even some 4th effort there. And Jaquise McDaniel in for the touchdown. 16-6, our score.
Big effort there for Jaquise McDaniel. Lots of effort there. As we said, multiple broken tackles. Continuing to try and get into the end zone. Eventually does by a couple of inches. Big play, 2 plays for the Highlanders. First, the blocked punt to give that opportunity, and then Jaquise McDaniel not giving up and getting it into the end zone. Now we'll have the extra point attempt by the freshman.
Bit of a low snap, kick is up, kind of a line drive, and missing left. So 16-6 our score, 1:07 left in this 2nd quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back after this. Riley in to kick off now. And 2nd quarter, 1:07 on the clock. This one booted down. Another good directional kick down at the 10. Trying that outside and just does get past the 30. Good return there. And we will see what the Flyers can do. 1 minute left. They do get the ball back to start the second half. So maybe go in a 2-for-1 situation here.
You would think that they would at least try to get something going, whether that's a long pass down the field or getting a couple of running opportunities, because they do, I believe, have 3 timeouts, so they can kind of experiment if they want to with the run. If they can't get out of bounds, they have the timeouts to use. But as you kind of said, they do receive the ball to start the second half, so we'll see if they're how aggressive they are, since they will get at least another chance with almost a limited amount of time to start the second half.
And this is Fetters up the middle, taking a bit of punishment there. And I think we'll just have the clock run out. We have about 36 seconds on the play clock, 38 on the game clock. Second and short, looks like they are going to run a play. Fake to Fetters. Aragon going deep into double coverage, has a man. Boy, that was just a shade away from a great pass and catch.
The right idea there for the Flyers, just trying to spring a big play to see if they can get something before the half, just out of the reach of the receiver. We'll see now that there's only 24 seconds left in the quarter how aggressive the Flyers will be.
St. Joe's going to call a timeout with 24 seconds left before halftime. We'll take a quick break as well and get you back to these 24 seconds after the break. Couple plays left. Aragon gonna roll out to the left here, under some pressure, and throws it just out of bounds. Does avoid the intentional grounding. Almost throws it up here instead of someone on the field.
Big pressure there for the offensive line for Highlanders, but there is a little injury, or it seems like an injured player on the field for the Flyers. Still 10 to him. 16 seconds left in the half.
Let's take a look ahead at the second half. What do the Highlanders need to do, let's say on defense, because on offense, there really isn't a whole lot we can complain about. Maybe some penalties, putting yourself in those third and longs, that's really hurt. But the defensive side, what can the Highlanders do to maybe slow up the Flyers from making this a good game?
Well, first they have to continue their dominance on the defensive line. They've had a couple of really good rushes, getting the quarterback to hurry up, even getting a couple of sacks, getting some tackles for losses. Good job there on the defensive line, excuse me. So they'll need to definitely continue that. Also on the outside, they've had some good coverage from the cornerbacks and safeties. So they need to continue that. But overall, probably the biggest thing is that St. Joseph's has had a couple of good runs once they've gotten past the defensive line. If Highlanders want to milk the clock, in the second half, try and keep the lead away from St. Joseph's coming back, as the Highlanders did in the second half of their game 2 weeks ago. trying to stop the run as much as possible.
Yeah, both teams really doing some great work on the ground. Again, except for the passing key, no pass plays really jump off the screen, the page for me. I can't think of any. They kind of have a bunch formation here. Again, 16 seconds left. 4th and 10 is what we have. Again, this could be a unique punt situation. It is going to be kind of that situation where the quarterback will step up. Boy, one-handed grab. That's a heck of a play. It's going to be one of the most athletic punts I think I've ever seen. It was a great catch and great punt, and we'll see this tap down for 4 seconds. And going to so we talked about the Highlanders defense. I gotta say, for St. Joe on defense, really the run is gonna be where is gonna be the focus has to be in that locker room. You really have to commend really both sides for their tackling. So once you have them, you've done a good job of wrapping up, but just getting them, St. Andrews, I feel like, has done a good job of mixing things up, going outside, inside, doing play actions, and using some misdirection. So credit to them, but I feel like the St. Joe defensive line has maybe sniffed out a few more as the game has gone on. One thing that's going to be key for both teams: conditioning. We need to have orange slices in the locker room to avoid cramps for both sides. Whatever, pickle juice, I know that's a thing. As Campbell will just take this one, throw it up, a wobbly ball, and this one's going to be underthrown and picked off. We'll see if we can have a miracle return here. Cutting it upfield and still on his feet, going forward, and finally brought down. That'll take us into the half. 16-6 in favor of the home team, looking for their first win of the season. We will take a break and come back for the second half after this. Stay tuned. back here for the second half as the Highlanders are up 16-6. And they're going to be kicking off to the Flyers. So we'll see if they can build on this lead or actually stop the Flyers from adding to their 6 points. Again, Will Riley doing the kickoff here. Another good boot here, returned at about the 5-yard line. Tries that far side, gets past a couple defenders, still on his feet. A flag comes in, and it's out of bounds near the 30-yard line.
Couple of flags there. We'll see what the call is, but as you kind of alluded to, big drive here for the start of the first half. I mean, the second half, excuse me. Tone setting for this half. The Flyers obviously trying to decrease this lead that the Highlanders have currently 10 points, 16-6. But for the Highlanders, trying to continue on what was a mostly successful first half. Just a couple of false start penalties, a missed extra point. It's about all the mistakes we had, and a little bit of a muff punt, or a little bit of a mishandled punt. That's about all the mistakes St. Andrews had in the first half. They'll try and build on that. Try to have a mostly mistake-free second half as well.
There we go.
So offsetting penalties there. That's
Offsetting penalties.
It's always fun. We had we ran through the gambit of the playbook in that first game of penalty calls. So offsetting penalties will get re-kick, and we'll try that again. 12 seconds run off the clock. But again, we ran through the gambit. It was almost like the guys who land the planes. It was almost like that, where you have to know the signals, or like the old time people with the ships, having the flags and stuff. That's what it reminded me of, because we're also playing charades as well, but we have we're a bit more knowledgeable on the signals from the ref. We'll have a re-kick, as one of them was hands to the face. I don't know what the other one was. The two fist bump, and then we're all kind of confused up here in the press box, but that is going to be a re-kick.
As you kind of alluded to, just trying to figure out the science in the refs. At one point, I remember in that first game, we were like completely confuzzled what was going on. We didn't even figure out what the play was supposed to be. So definitely a better time this time, been able to figure out most of the calls, but still, as you kind of said, a game of charades.
I know this one is going to be out of bounds, and that one was kind of that directional kick, and good job by the returner not to pick it up, and it just went out at about the 1-inch line. That will bring the ball forward to the 30-yard line. So again, we'll see what the offense of the Flyers can do. We'll see if they go back on the ground to Marlowe, who had a few good runs in the end of that first half, but instead I believe that is Fetters back there. Yep, it is. And that one's hit at the line. It is Aragon, another tipped pass. We've seen a couple of those tonight from the defensive line.
There was Luke McGrath there on the offensive line. That's a second block down. First one was by number 70, Graves Wood. Now with number 55, Luke McGrath. Good job here by the defensive line for St. Andrews. We've kind of had a theme in this game of the defensive lines making an impact both on the quarterback and in the run game. Looks like that theme will continue into the second half as we had that play on the line as well.
And Fetters is going to go the left side off tackle and gets a few yards. So again, still trying the run game. It's really important to, keep a mixture of both run and pass. You can't, and I think both teams have really done a great job at, mixing things up, being creative with play calls, not relying too heavy on either run or pass. And they've been fairly successful both in the run game. It just is a matter of what defensive line can, get 3 stops in a row, bring up a 4th down. In St. Andrews' case, they've really put themselves in those 3rd and longs when they don't have successful runs on 1st down. Is now under pressure, right on cue. Under pressure, but evades it somehow, now throws deep on the run, has a receiver, makes the catch at the 38, and signals for a first down, a well-deserved first down, jumping catch, gets you a first down.
Beautiful catch.
Good playing on the defense, able to get into the backfield and almost broke out that pass in the secondary as well. But even better play by the Flyers. Quarterback eludes a whole ton of pressure in his face, finds the target downfield. Wide receiver able to bring it in. Looks like now though we have a false start on the line.
So we're gonna have 2 penalties here after that big play. They wanted to get some tempo going, and they have a spike, and they also have a false start here. And again, going back to that catch, we had one guy looking at the ball and one guy not looking at the ball. The defender really facing the receiver, and the receiver facing towards the ball, and I believe that's a penalty at the higher levels. But here, it really just gives the other team a big play as we have false start, and again, after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. So we will get more penalties enforced. We have the 5 for false start. And so it's going to be, what is that, 20 yards? That's my math.
So first and 30 there. And as you kind of alluded to, yeah, most of the time that would be a penalty in the higher levels for pass interference. Most of the time they're looking for the cornerback to not look towards the ball and instead make contact with the receiver, not with the ball. But overall, that kind of could have gone both ways here as well, because the defender did make a play towards, like, a little bit on the ball, which probably kept the flag in the pocket of the crew in stripes. But yeah, it could have gone either way there.
And roll out into coverage, and boy, 2 chances for an interception, and neither one gets it. Again, opportunity there, but still a long third down. Again, under 10 minutes to go here.
Second down and forever.
Against second down because we didn't have the play for the false start. Yeah, that was kind of a tale of friendly fire there. You kind of had Max Flint almost catch that ball.
As we have a fumble on the option off the pitch. Ball still loose, and there we can see a clear Highlander recovery as the ball squirted out of about 4 hands there. So I don't think this thing can go any better for the Highlanders.
All right, let's analyze the last 2 plays. You kind of had friendly fire there. Max Flint almost had the A&T kind of taken away by the other defender. Number 20, Mateo Salinas, kind of knocked the ball out of the hands, and then you had there a mishandled toss. Highlanders right there to pick up the ball. Kind of squirted out of 4 people's hands, but clear recovery there. And Highlanders now have good field position, starting in the opponent's side of the 40.
Again, we talked about the physical aspect. You could have cramps in the second half of a game, especially in this Texas heat. Just under 100 degrees where it feels like 99. Again, that's a huge difference. And we have a player running onto the field late, but still plenty of time. 20 seconds on the play clock now as he gets set. But again, it's the mental side of that comes in the second half, especially so early in the season. And boy, that's just a straight up stick in the backfield.
That's on the defensive line, and he's also the fullback who had the touchdown earlier. Definitely a physical player there on the line and in the run game as the fullback, and both running and blocking. Big hit there in the backfield, loss of about 3 to 4 yards, second down and long.
So again, we talked about, we've mentioned it's kind of like we're a record on repeat here, getting yourself in manageable third downs, and it's it's kind of a touch-and-go situation.
Reset the clock. Reset the clock.
And we
We gotta reset the play clock when he does that.
have a timeout
We got it.
for St. Andrews. And we might have a play clock reset situation, but we'll take a timeout anyway. Come back, 8:55 to go in the third quarter. Coming back after the break. Campbell going to take the snap here with Will May behind him. Now under pressure, Campbell throws it up for grabs, and that one's way over the head of everybody. Under pressure from a lot of people. It wouldn't have been better if he handed it off to May.
Again, we have the defensive line getting involved. That's been a theme in this game for both sides. Both defensive lines have gotten involved, gotten pressure on the quarterback and on the running backs. Now it looks like we have a flyer down on the field. They'll tend to him.
Again, unfortunately, we don't want to speculate, but after a couple weeks ago, we feel like we're almost well-versed in what a cramp looks like on the field. We've seen just about every type there is, and again, it's a physical game, but also a mental game. The heat can take a toll on you, so both teams having to overcome this. Even the referee's taking a good water break, and this is no joke. Thankfully, though, we have cooler temperatures on the horizon here in Central Texas. Yes, that does mean under 100 degrees and possibly under 90 degrees, Matt. And I, for one, am definitely looking forward to not sweating so much. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely is going to be a well-needed break from the triple-digit heat. We broke a couple of triple-digit heats records for days in a row and also the number of days this year. The summer has been brutal with triple-digit heat, so it's going to be a great break, as I said, from that heat to something that's probably going to feel like freezing cold.
I will take freezing cold right now. 3rd and 15 upcoming. Campbell, back to pass, fires deep, has a man on a wheel route, untouched into the end zone. Beautiful pitch and catch, and that was a sharp ball from Campbell. In for the touchdown.
It's number 8, Trayson Armstrong. He's had a couple of big catches today for first downs, and they're uncovered out of, it looked like, around the backfield on a wheel route. Not backfield, but around the line, uncovered on the wheel route. An easy pitch and catch, and easy walk into the end zone.
That's something you see at the higher levels. Not saying they're comparable, but the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers, every team that seems to be successful on offense has pre-snap motion, and that's what you're seeing as the snap is down and kick is blocked, but not returned. So we'll have another blocked kick, this time for the home team. 22-6, one of those odd scores. We might get a score-origami here. 8:39 to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back to Beck Stadium after this. (22-6) our score. Riley about to kick it off to St. Joseph. Again, kicked it out of bounds last time, trying to better his effort. We'll see if he changes direction. And does keep this one in bounds. Fair catch is called for inside the 5. And got some extracurriculars here on the near side. Nothing bad so far. Actually, we did have some action in the center of the field that I did not see. I was paying attention to the near side here, and a flag does come out, so we're going to have some
form of a penalty on the field.
consequences here. Did you see anything, Matt? I wasn't looking that way of the field.
I was the same. I was just looking towards where the ball was going. Good kick, though, by the freshman, no matter where the penalty ends up being. Good kick by the freshman, obviously in for the injured number 88, Homer Rangel. Has had a pretty good night, has missed an extra point, got that one blocked, but overall a pretty good outing. Some good punts, some good kicks. So good for the freshman to get some experience and some good experience at that.
Offsetting penalties.
Offsetting penalties will keep the ball. So it was a fair catch.
Yeah, because it goes to the 25, yeah. No, he fell catch it. First 10 minus 25.
So we have the fair catch, ball at the 25, and then offsetting penalties. So a lot of things to break down there.
St. Joseph can start at their own
Again,
25-yard line.
Want to give a shout out to the chain gang. I will follow up on that later as Aragon turns on the wheels, going straight into the bench. Hopefully the photographer is okay. So we'll make sure she's okay, and we'll get a first down for the Flyers.
Quarterback there, Aragon, found a hole in the offensive line, got a good gain there, collides into the beloved Mrs. Jennifer Stratton there, the great photographer on the sidelines for the Highlanders, takes pictures for a lot of the Highlander sports. Hopefully she'll be okay with that little collision with the player.
And you know, I think she got the better end of where she fell, because she fell straight into the water, and again, that would be perfect right now. If we could do this game from a pool on the side of the field, I would take that.
Where's Cantrell? They're looking for Cantrell.
I kind of feel like we're in the movie Holes sometimes, where we don't see any rain. But anyway, we'll get back to the action as they kind of adjust the headset.
What was that?
And not really sure of the delays here.
Say it one more time. You're going in and out. Hey, the clock didn't run the last couple plays.
So Aragon winding up and going deep, one-on-one coverage. 50-50 ball goes over everybody.
Deep pass to 10.
So
Fell incomplete.
8:15.
Bring up second down to 10.
Second and 10 upcoming here for the Flyers. Aragon with trips up top. And getting that speed option, boy, nearly gets into a defensive end. We have a flag on the far side, but it is a first down.
Got a flag, got a flag.
And another Flyer down.
A first down by yardage gain, but there is a
So
flag
we'll
down and there is a penalty.
see what the call is. Again, another Flyer down. I didn't see anything there.
Yeah, I didn't see totally everything, but in that play, number 9, Owen Gabb, did get into the backfield, almost caused another disconnection on the toss play. Had one, obviously, the Flyers fumbled a toss play earlier in the game, recovered by the Highlanders, almost got that one. Owen, I talked to him as well as Gus this week. He broke his thumb on homecoming night of last season, and so he had to work back, but he claimed, and I quote, "I'm not a quitter." So that's what he said. So he will try to keep disrupting at the offensive line and on defense and on offense.
So we'll step aside as they tend to the injured player and come back. 8:04 in this third quarter. Coming back after this. So the run's going to be called back as it was a first down. It's going to be holding. They knock it back to 2nd and 11 there. So again, what can we expect from the Flyer offense here?
The Flyer offense has had some success on the ground, getting some yardage there, got the first down, but then it was called back for the holding call. Again, penalties are the killers of drives, as we say. We're on a roll with that first down. Now they're back behind the chain, 2nd 11. I would expect that they go back to the ground to see what they can get on 2nd down, and hopefully to make this a little bit more of a manageable 3rd down situation. You could also pass, as it looks like they're going to do.
Aragon setting up the screen. There's Marlowe. Boy, lowers his shoulders and still on his feet. Nearly stayed in bounds. Maybe even got the first down. That is some... We've really seen some tough runs from the Flyers this evening. We'll see where they mark it. 3rd and short is where they spot it. And again, that's great 2nd down play calling to put yourself in a 3rd and manageable. As Aragon is going to take a quick snap here. Going to go straight up the middle. Now bounces outside. Has some room. Picks up a good chunk of yardage there.
Good job there for the Flyers on the ground with the running back, and then kind of the screen pass with the running back running and making some moves to get into a manageable 3rd down, and the quarterback using his legs, calling his own number to get the first down. Good job to the Flyers to bounce back from that holding penalty that put them behind the chains, able to get the first down, new set of downs, and also entering now into Highlander territory.
Going back for the pass and wrapped up. Well, I think that's one of the few sacks as Aragon maybe had his helmet come off towards the end of the play. Kind of having to shake it off there. And I think that's one of the few times we've had a sack for this defensive line. The defensive line will, bother the quarterback and has bothered the running back, but hasn't gotten a quarterback. They're going to call a timeout because in high school football, if your helmet comes off, you have to come out for at least one play, but you can, remove that by taking a timeout. So we will also take a timeout and come back. Back to the action here, 2nd and 14. And we have, I believe that is Marlowe in the backfield, takes the play action, and Aragon going deep, has a man just out of the grasp at the 20, and a couple receivers in the area just kind of threw it up, and both of them not able to come up with the grab.
Good play call there for the Flyers, able to get a wide receiver basically wide open in the middle of the field, just not able to corral in that catch, which means that the Flyers are in a quite deep 3rd down situation. Again, we're in 3rd down and long. Was a problem for the Highlanders in the first half. Now the Flyers have one of their own.
That was good footwork there by Aragon, stepping up into the pocket. And now drops back to pass again. No protection, fires it out to Marlowe. A great open field tackle, though. Maybe he gets to the line of scrimmage, but I don't think he did at midfield.
Nice tackle there by Owen Gabb. Able to get the tackle down, able to get the running back almost immediately down. Last time we had that screen, the running back was able to find space, even it seemed like move through players, take them down, get extra yardage there. A quick tackle forces 4th down and long in what would usually be a punting situation.
Credit to Gabb. He's had a lot of open field tackles, usually on the outside. And he's been a big force on defense now as Aragon will take the snap. And a line drive kick, is it going to go? That's a tremendous coffin corner situation there inside the 10. I think they're going to mark it at about the 8. All around athlete is Aragon. So 6:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. We'll see what the Highlanders can do. Up 22-6, but they've kind of stalled out their last few drives.
Yeah, the Highlanders have had a couple of problems getting first downs, having to punt to the Flyers, giving them opportunities. Credit to the Highlander defense for holding the Flyers. Currently have not gotten the Flyers have not gotten anything super duper close to the end zone or in field goal situations. The Highlanders will look to make a long, sustained drive down the field as they try and take down some of the clock with a 16-point lead, and also to try and increase the lead in the end would be the hopeful goal of this drive.
What we saw a couple weeks ago, it was also going the same right to left, as McDaniel finds the outside, tries to cut it upfield, but not going to let him do that. But what we saw a couple weeks ago is the ball was after a 4th down stop from St. Andrews. Lassa went 98 yards to our left and had a touchdown. So we'll see if St. Andrews can kind of replicate Lassa there. And I want to say that was like a 7-minute drive too, so that's something that St. Andrews could take advantage of here under 6 minutes now. Campbell in the spread, bringing pressure, it looks like, and ball's on the ground. Campbell falls on it. They brought pressure on the outside, and luckily Campbell able to fall on it up the middle.
Yeah, kind of how you said before that play, this is almost identical to the situation we had 2 weeks ago where Lassa had a goal line stop, then went 98 yards in like 7 or 8 minutes. It's kind of what, as you said, what St. Andrews wants to replicate, because that'll bring us in at least into the 4th quarter if that were to happen, and that's what they're looking to do, just try and take the clock as much as they can. And that's why they're huddling now, taking up all the play clock on this down.
I got to get something off here shortly. 5 seconds on the play clock. Campbell just takes the snap with 1 on the clock, fires it out. That is Paradoza, and gets some extra yards after that. Moves the sticks, gets them out about the 26.
Good pitch and catch there from quarterback to receiver. Just an easy little short pass, what they needed to get to the first down. Paradoza able to spring it for a little bit extra yards, but there we've got first down and 10 for the Highlanders.
So they've done a nice job of having both the run and the passes. Now, let's run up the middle. kind of stopped his run there. McDaniel doesn't get much there.
Yeah, you kind of had him try and make a move there, was unable to do it. Defender was there and kept him within where he wanted and then made the tackle. Only a gain of 1 on first down, but the Highlanders will look to try and make it more manageable in the second down, make it a more manageable third down to keep the chains moving and keep the clock running.
And now Will May in. He finds a hole, has to wiggle out of one tackle, can't escape the 2 Flyers that come after that though. Pickup of a couple. It's really been running back by committee tonight, and I think it's been a pretty even split between May and McDaniel. And I want to say Dunaway was the running back that came in relief of the other 2. Again, May had cramps, and McDaniel was out of the game, that first game, and Dunaway came in and was a nice.
That happened in the first game where Dunaway was able to get in and pick up some production in the first game, but this game it's only the 2 because Cannon Dunaway dislocated his shoulder in practice, and so it'll only be Jaquise and Will May for this game going forward and for a little while Dunaway recovers.
And a tangle of feet there. It looks to be incidental tangling of feet and some good sportsmanship there. 2:46 to go in this third quarter after that incomplete pass, and that brings up 4th and 8. And definitely a punting situation here.
Not what you want if you're St. Andrews. We're looking to just make a long, sustained drive down the field. Only able to pick up a couple first downs. Took off. They were able definitely to take off some clock, but probably not as much as they were looking for. Looks like they will punt it back to the Flyers. The Flyers, if you're St. Joseph right now, you've got to think getting at least something, probably a touchdown on this drive to stay into this game with only approximately 15 minutes left.
Almost a snap over the head, and boy, what a punt after that, and gets the bounce. My goodness, let's do the math on this one. We're going from the 26 on the right to the 10, maybe the 9-yard line.
Riley with a massive punt down to
24, 40,
the 9-yard line.
75-yard punt? Is that right? Let's do the math. We're going to talk this out. I got to figure this out. 71? We're getting all guesses here.
24 plus 41, so 65.
65-yard punt. Final answer. Lock it in. 65-yard punt. Some NFL kickers can't do that. I can't do that on the Xbox either. It's always nice, though, when you have a good wind behind you and you can get like an 80-yard punt. Those are always the best. Aragon, going back to pressure. Gets a nice little pump fake there. Boy, fires a laser, but nearly picked off.
Good defense there from the Highlanders, able to get to the quarterback. If you're the defensive lineman, the pump fake is able to kind of elude the sack as it causes the defender to jump, trying to deflect, and at that point the quarterback was able to get the ball away. Incomplete pass. Good job by the Flyers just to make a 0 on the play, just to keep the ball and keep on moving.
And Aragon fires out to the far side. Does have a man, but are they going to call it a catch? Yep, they call it completion, and it was a low ball. Completion made and a gain of a couple there. Something I've really been impressed with by both quarterbacks really is their decision making. We did have the one interception from Campbell that was at the end of the first half, kind of a throwaway ball, but really both have been pretty clean for the most part. And a nice little pitch and catch. Gain of a couple there, brings up 4th down. And again, another punting situation here. This is kind of where field position comes into play. It's really not a a huge factor when you look at the box score, but something that, really impacts the game is where you start your drive. So this one started all the way on the 9. They didn't get too much yardage there, and really having to have a good punt here to get the Highlanders into a place where they don't want to. Aragon, boy, kind of came off his foot weird. Maybe it was tipped. There was some pressure in the backfield, and finally does go down at about the 26-yard line. So we'll step aside. 53 seconds to go in the third quarter. Highlanders up 22-6, trying to add on. Stay tuned. So Campbell's going to take this snap and hand it right off the middle. Will May with nowhere to go.
As you were kind of mentioning before the timeout, field position definitely a factor. You had the Highlanders down deep in their own territory. Last drive had a huge punt, got the 3 and out, and now are in the Flyer territory. So big change in field position there. They're just normal defensive line getting into the backfield, getting Milmay down after a minimal gain. We'll look at second down and 9.5.
We have 2 receivers up top, and safety does shift over to that side. Campbell doesn't look that way, instead fires near side, and I think that's Paradoza getting a nice little chunky yardage. Does stay down after the catch. Not a whole lot of contact there, so hopefully it's none of those non-contact injuries. Those are the scariest. But he does stay down, so we will step aside as the trainers tend to him and come back. Back here at Beck Stadium, and that was actually the end of the third quarter as well. We will start the fourth. Paradoza walking off under his own power. And just coming over to take a seat on the bench, get some fluids in him. And we start 3rd and 5 for the Highlanders.
Big third down here for both teams. For the Highlanders, the first down here would be knocking on the door of the end zone and most likely putting away the game for free play there.
Actually, there was movement by both sides, so they stopped it again. It was kind of similar to last time. Who did they call it? Yeah, false start. I feel like offense kind of gets deferred on those when it's kind of those 50-50 plays.
We have, again, pre-snap movement kind of been a theme of the penalties in this game. Last game, as we kind of said, we had the whole array of penalties. This game has been mostly just pre-snap, a couple of free plays from offsides, and a couple of false starts, especially on this group with the Highlanders on offense and the Flyers on defense. Now will make it a more difficult third down for the Highlanders.
And third down, it's a nice catch. Key does hang on to the ball and kind of gets thrown forward. He's going to be close to the line. I don't know if they're going to spot it. We'll see where the line judge spots it. And it looks like he's short maybe by a yard. Yep. So 4th and 1. Boy, 22-6. You're up 16. What do you go with here?
Big decision here for the Highlanders. As we kind of said, if they get a first down here, they're knocking on the door of putting away the Flyers, but not getting it here would give momentum for the Flyers heading back the other way. It's an interesting decision for the coaches. If I were them, I would just, I don't know. It's a good question. Looks like they're probably going to take a timeout here as they're not really in formation. That is what they're going to do and make this decision. If I were them, I would just be aggressive and try and go for this 4th and 1, but we'll see what they come out with after the timeout.
I was going to say, your defense has been solid, but also if the Flyers' defense holds, that can also be a momentum for the offense, kind of get their energy levels up high. It's only a 2-score game, 16 points, so a lot of decisions need to be made by people a lot more knowledgeable than us, but it's nice to make the calls and then not have any consequences, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's why I talk, I don't coach. So, 11:08 to go in this 4th quarter. Again, I don't know if... Well, we did have the 1 score for the Highlanders this half. We're kind of light on cramps, too, so I feel like that's a lot better than a couple weeks ago. Really, I want to say solid defense by both sides, but it's just been the big plays of the Highlanders. The pass to Aiden Key in the first half, the wheel route touchdown that was in this half. So that's 2 scores right there. Again, extra points, I believe, were missed on one of those. I can't remember which one, but that's at least 12, 13 points right there. And you take those off the board, it's a 9-6 ball game still. So every mistake, every good play, it makes a huge difference in the long run. So we'll see if this falls into that log of big plays. And now up the middle, boy, stuffed before the handoff could even be completed. That's just great defense.
There he is, that same lineman who also doubles as the fullback, who had the only Flyers touchdown, has made a big impact on this game with the touchdown and also two different tackles for loss. That one is obviously the turnover on downs, exactly what the doctor ordered, at least for the Flyers. For the Highlanders, not able to put the dagger in the game, so they'll have to rely on their defense to give them to shut out this game. I mean, there's still 11:02 left, but you would think if the Flyers don't score soon, then their chances are kind of getting limited.
What a combination of great defensive lineman and fullback, and now Aragon's going to try his legs. Evades one tackler, nifty move there, and we have a flag from the far side. We'll see what that is. But without, or as it stands, we have a 2nd and 5 upcoming. Personal foul will have hands to the face by the defense, so boy, tack on a big gain there for the Flyers. I think we should start at the beginning of counting as many penalties, because I feel like there have been a lot of penalties here. Maybe not as much as 2 weeks ago, but there have definitely been a lot of penalties from both sides, so I would guess maybe we're at the 15-20 mark here, and those definitely add up over time. Keep drives alive like this one, or in some cases, push you back as Aragon under pressure, turns back around, walks up, and now just fires it out of bounds. Impressive incompletion there. Good
job by the quarterback, giving just the zero of the play, able to get away from two different possible sack opportunities for the Highlanders and just throws it away. We'll try to just reset in second down and 10. But yeah, as you kind of said, penalties have been not as many as 2 weeks ago, but definitely still a big part of this game. You've had the biggest one obviously being that free play, 5 yards, that gave Aiden Key a chance at the touchdown, which ended up happening. He caught it for the touchdown. And then you would think that also this one is another momentum booster for the Flyers.
As a nice little pitch and catch there. It's near the marker. And I think there was one drive specifically that stood out for Lhasa. I think they had like 9 penalties on that one play, or on that one drive. Maybe not all of them on them, but I want to say there was like a 2nd and 31 that we called. So just you can get in some crazy situations. Big third down here, 3rd and 2, just shy of midfield, and defense having to get set here. Aragon fakes the handoff, gets upfield, gets the first down and then some, inside the 45.
Big first down there for the Flyers, able to move the chains into Highlander territory. The quarterback there able to see a hole for himself, just took it, called his own number, and now hurry up into the Highlander territory.
Aragon back to pass under pressure, steps up, now hit as he throws. Are they going to call that a forward pass? And they do. Boy, that was a hit from the back. And the person making the tackle, or the hit, is down. So we will step aside as trainers come out and tend to him. 9:42 on the scoreboard, 22-6 is our score. Stay tuned. And it is Trayson Armstrong who is going to walk off the field. Again, looked to be just another cramping situation out there. And the Flyers have 2nd and 10 here. Off play action. Aragon rolling left, now spins away from pressure, can't escape it though. It's going to be a sack of about 13 yards.
Number 33, Jack Burnham, is the first one in there, and then he got help from other teammates. A half sack for Burnham logged there. That's, I believe, his second part. He had a full sack earlier, now he has a partial sack now, so 1.5 sacks on the game.
So, what looked to be a really good drive for the Flyers is now turned into 3rd and forever as Aragon, looking deep, steps up. Boy, playing footsie with him. Going deep, has a man open. Oh my goodness, 50-50 ball. I lost the ball there for a second. An incomplete pass. So that brings up 4th and 20. 8:45, 2-score game. Do you have enough time to kick it back and trust your defense?
I would say due to the fact that it's so so back, fourth down here. It's like almost it looks like fourth down and almost like 20 yards at this point. I think you have to punt it because you can't give St. Andrews the ball inside of your own territory. You have to hope that your defense can get a 3 and out or a quick stop, get the ball back to your offense.
So we'll have a timeout. That is their second of the half. So 1 for the Flyers, 2 for the Highlanders. And we will take a break. 8:45 to go in the fourth. Stay tuned. Back here for the fourth down. Aragon, the punter and quarterback for this evening, setting up in quarterback position. And it's going to be a snap. A lot of coverage down there. Almost threads the needle near the first down. Just out of the reach, though. A bullet of a pass falls to the ground, and the Highlanders will take over at the 46-yard line.
A little scary there for the Highlanders. They were kind of in a bit of a zone coverage, just trying to play deep. But if that catch could have been made by the receiver there were 2 defenders in the area, could have made the tackle before, but also could have been a first down. So close call there, good call by the Flyers. In some ways, that play call could have worked there, but unable to get that completion. So it's Highlander ball inside on the opponent 46.
And Matt, we were talking during the break. Any semblance of points by either team could make this game really interesting. As McDaniel spins out of one, not going to spin out of that one though. Thrown to the ground, and just looking at the score, 22-6. It's not a score you usually see in football. We've had missed extra points by both sides. The Highlanders are 1 for 3 tonight, had 1 blocked and 1 missed. The Flyers had their 1 extra point missed. So it could be 22-7. It could be 24-6. So it's really those little plays that we were talking about that can have a big impact on the game.
Because one swing of one of those PATs could have made it from a 2-score game, as it is right now, 16 points, to a 3-score game if it was one of them, if St. Andrews had made one of those 2 missed.
And we have McDaniel trying outside. Not getting there, and its helmet comes off. Did we get a flag? Yep. Line judge does come in. McDaniel having no helmet is all the evidence they needed. And again, into those extra points, as it is a face mask. Getting into those extra points, we had the not putting teams away. That's the point I'm trying to make. Not putting teams away almost came into play a couple weeks ago. Lhasa almost let St. Andrews get into it a couple times. St. Andrews now with the lead and trying not to let the Flyers back in. So really dangerous, not putting the teams away.
Absolutely.
15-yard penalty will bring it up to the 31-yard line. And Campbell, we're going to hand this one off to McDaniel, fumbles it. Not a clean exchange there, and that's going to be a clean pickup by the Flyers again. What we talk about, not putting them away.
McDaniel
We were talking about this just now, and also during the break, that a turnover here would be detrimental. There is that turnover, but it is kind of deep in the Flyer territory at about the 32-yard line. If you were to have a turnover, not that you want it, that's probably what you want, so you don't give amazing field position to the opponent, but still an issue of trying to put the Flyers away. Highlanders unable to do that.
That is a very good silver lining you found in a fumble, and I appreciate that. 7:32 to go here. Aragon with Marlowe in the backfield. And looked to be some movement on the defensive side. I think the defensive tackle moved. There was movement on both sides eventually. So it's going to be a false start. Back about 5 yards.
Another false start penalty, another pre-snap penalty in this game. That makes, I would say, double digits in just those kind of penalties alone. Puts you behind the sticks every single time.
Snap from Aragon, setting up the screen, and boy, right there, and boy, guess who?
Owen Gabb right there to stop the screen. About second or third time he's done that. Been involved a lot in the front seven. Almost had that deflection to cause a fumble. Now the second or third time blowing up a screen. Big impact on the game today.
Second down.
And the screen plays are usually to get those guys, on the run, get them to have to diagnose those plays, and he's done a great job so far, and again, solid individual tackling. Play action now, and tackled in the backfield. This is going to be a huge loss. It's going to bring up third and forever, under 7 minutes now.
That was number 56, Tad O'Brien on the sack. That's a second straight negative play for the Flyers. Puts them in third and literally forever. Big problem for the Flyers. They were looking to try and go down the field and make this a one-score game. Instead, now in really third and, as I said, forever. They'll need to pick this up if they want to probably stay in this game. Only 6 minutes left. You got to think that this is a pretty important drive to try and get points on.
Clock winding and ball snapped as the play clock winds down, and boy, tipped out of the hands and a clean hit. I believe that was Paradoza, the second with the hit. It was, and the receiver is taking his time getting up, and we will step away from the field and come back after this. 6:04, Highlanders lead 22-6. Back here after the injury timeout, player able to walk off under his own power, thankfully, after that scary looking hit, and it's going to be 4th and 23. They're in that formation again. Last time they threw it, now quarterback punter does take a couple steps back and punts this one away. Beautiful kick, and not going to be caught. It's going to be another friendly bounce for the Flyers, and inside the 20 and at the 13-yard line. Let's do the math on this one. Oh, they moved the down marker, so I'm not sure. That's easily another 60-yarder right there. Again, mainly off the bounce.
Definitely something to work on next week's practices of the returners, at least blocking the punts down. Again, a big friendly bounce, at least 10 to 20 yards in both of these punts, that one and the one earlier, that have caused these monster punts that you almost never see in high school, but we see them twice now, one for the Highlanders and now two for the Flyers.
It's one thing if you're under pressure as a returner. Like, there's no pressure on either of the returners, so there's a free catch. Even if you muff it, you really have some time before the defenders come down and make a big hit on you. So we have 5:49 to go, and the Highlanders have a ways to go if they want to put any points on the board, or maybe they're just going to salt the clock away. Campbell takes a snap and fires straight out to, that is McDaniel playing wide receiver, wrapped around by his jersey, and he does go out of bounds. He's going to be near the first down marker too.
Tough reception there for the usually running back, now receiver, you would say. Jaquise McDaniel able to make some moves, grab around his jersey, but still stays on his feet, able to get a pretty good gain for second down at about 1 or 2.
So second and short here. May in the backfield now. The give is to May up the middle. Boy, gets some good yardage, but is punished at the end.
Good run there by Will May, able to get the easy first down there. But as you kind of said, big hit there given by the Flyers. But the clock remains running as they're tackled inbounds without any timeouts. So the clock now is going down, new set of downs.
Yeah, doing a really good job keeping the chains moving. We really didn't see too many of the kind of chunk plays, getting the long sustained drives. It's mainly the big plays as May gets a nice stiff arm in the backfield, finds some open room. That's a lot of running for a 5-yard gain or so, but able to keep the chains in the positive direction.
Good vision by Will May. Saw nothing on the side he went to what would be our coming towards where the camera is and where we are. Cut back to the other side, able to find some room on that side. Gets a modest gain of 5 or 6.
Second and 4 upcoming. Again, clock continues to run. We're at under 4:30. And Campbell's look at the play clock, pointing at 0. Not called a penalty, but that is a May ends up losing a couple.
Weird play there. Kind of had what looked to be a delay of game as the play clock showed 0 for quite a while. Still got the play off apparently. Loss of yardage though, third down and back to being semi-long. They'll look to either run and just milk out a little bit more of the clock and then punt back, or to try and get the first down and do even more milking with a fresh set of downs.
Wonder if they're going to go short pass, and they do. Campbell, just behind. Well, that's a catchable ball, but Campbell having to evade some pressure there, and I was wondering if they were going to go with those short passes. You do have the consequence of having an incomplete pass and not having more time go off the clock, but good attempt. Brings up 4th and 6, 3.5, and the clock is stopped, and the Flyers running out of times, but we'll see if maybe this one gets run back, or we have some turnovers upcoming.
Yeah, on that pass play, on that third down, pass was just, as you kind of said, a little bit behind the receiver, which was number 6, Max Flint. Had a couple of those in this game. They'll look to obviously practice those, get more chemistry and practice this week. High flying ball.
A high ball, you have to watch out for contact there. And another friendly bounce off the high punt. And Flyers will take over, 3:17. And we'll take a quick break and come back after this. Back here, 3:17 to go as the Flyers take over, and we want to get a quick plug-in for next week's game. St. Andrews is going to be here at home against Village High School. St. Joe going to play St. Joe Academy next week. As this throw and catch here, nice little out route, gets him out of bounds too, stops the clock. Gain of about 7, that's a good chunk play.
Yeah, that was a good chunk play. Speaking to the Highlanders game next week, they are at home against the Village School. Last year, they were able to beat them comfortably. We'll see if that holds up this season, because as we saw from 2 weeks ago, even if you beat one school by a large margin one year, doesn't mean that it's going to be the same script the next year.
Yeah, every year is the same. Every year is different. As pass a little bit low, but another good chunk play. First down, out of bounds.
Pitch and catch. First down. Chains moving.
So, again, St. Andrews is going to play at 6:30 next week here at home.
6:30.
And going to get their first win. I wanted to make a note. I did the math this weekend. I was 1-19 for games that I've called for the home team. And now it's going to be 2-19. I'm very proud to say that. It looks like. I don't want to jinx it. I bet I just jinxed it. Aragon's pass is going to be out of bounds. I should have waited till there was less time, like 2 seconds. Because I have said that before, and it's come back to bite me.
I think it's mostly safe now. 241, 2-score game. It'd have to be a miracle, I would say, if the Village School, not the Village School, that's next week. If the Flyers, St. Joseph, will be able to come back in this game. But they are making some good progress. Those first couple of plays in this drive were good chunk plays, able to get out of bounds to save clock as well. So it has been a kind of a change in a bit of a script. They haven't been able to get much going on the last couple of drives, but now this one, able to get some stuff going. We'll see if that continues as we go on.
Paying attention to the clock? I don't know. Find out. Hey, play again. Someone call us.
And play clock was at 0 for maybe 6 seconds or so. We'll continue on. Aragon winding up and nearly gets a toe-tapping catch and touch out of bounds, but ball just over the sideline just a bit too much. .235 to go, 3rd and 10 upcoming. And like you said, it's still a lot to go in this drive, but the defense has to show some resilience, not give up any big plays. They can handle the short stuff, but like that, it's another good pitch and catch. And you have to, after that, you got to be smart. There's got to be, some letting them up afterwards as player down and now kind of hobbling back. We wanted to just note there, especially after the play, being smart. Don't give them any extra free yards.
Absolutely, and especially in this play, they were able to force the wide receiver out of bounds, short of the line to gain, which means that we do have a 4th down and short coming up for the Flyers. We'll see if they're able to convert it.
And again, injured wide receiver still on the near side, and it's a rifle ball just on a simple curl route. Gets the first down, and clock's going to stop on the first down.
Completion.
So again,
Chains moving. Drive still alive.
Now as the chains are set, under 220 now.
Number 18, Sam Marsh.
There's the snap. And incomplete pass, just a bit low. And, you know, those are the ones where it's incomplete, but you're almost kind of glad it's incomplete because it's just a minimal gain. But now you have the much more vital element of time saved there.
Absolutely. I don't think the receiver was intentionally trying to drop the ball, but it does actually end up helping the Flyers. Clock stops instead. Now they can go for something bigger in second down.
And here is something bigger. Winds up. One-on-one coverage. Boy, had the opportunity near the goal line. Pass looked to be broken up off some fingertips.
Pass broken up. It's going to be third down.
Third and 10. And again, I think you have to have a lot more big plays like that to really give your guys an opportunity. And 2 minutes to go now. And if you're the Highlanders, you really have to stay on your guard. This game isn't over yet.
Absolutely. While there is only 2 minutes left, they almost, the Flyers, being them, almost had a big play there, and that could have been detrimental. They could have changed the face of this game if it had been completed. Here's third down.
Nice little pitch and catch, a shimmy shake move. Does he get past the first down marker? He does. They're going to stop the clock and move the chains. We have a Highlander down. So this will extend that stoppage of clock. We've seen in this drive too the tempo pickup. So you got to think that's, you know, making guys fatigued, especially on the defensive line. They're running around. They're chasing Aragon, who's really not been a set quarterback. Really, both quarterbacks have been pretty mobile tonight. Impressive footwork from both, but got to be tiring for those defensive linemen, guys in coverage too, having to, you know, stay in coverage for 5, 6, 7 seconds even. It's just a really, really tough matchup out there the longer the game goes on. But they have done these short passes that have gotten them some pretty good chunk plays too, so we'll see if they continue that. First and 10, we're at 152 for the Flyers. Ball at about the 25-yard line. And the injured Highlander player will head to the bench under his own power. So again, we're hoping it's all these are just cramps. Aragon rolling out, and that one just over the head of the receiver, trying to kind of work the sideline again.
You can tell Aragon is a little upset at that overthrow. Just kind of threw it a little too high to not in the reach of the receiver. You can tell he was a little bit disappointed in that pass, as that could have been a good gain and possibly even getting out of bounds with the receiver.
Second and 10, 1:48 to go. Aragon drops back to pass, has all day to throw. Rolls out right, trying to find someone, instead just runs out for a gain of maybe a yard. I think this is a good game for the Highlanders that you can go back and watch tape, especially on defense. You've kept the opponent to 6 points, especially after the last couple weeks. Been pretty rough on the defensive end. You're coming back at home for your second game. You have a good performance by your defense. Like you said, they're going up against Village High School, who you said they won last year. So really kind of momentum to build on here. Looking to go 1-2 and possibly going to 2-2.
And yeah, definitely a much better performance today by the defense, especially with Aragon being a semi-mobile quarterback. 2 weeks ago, we saw the quarterback of Lhasa, who was extremely mobile, burn the defense a couple of times with some big plays. But just as we're talking about it, the defensive line gets a sack. They've had a lot of that with today. Just containing the quarterback to the pocket, not allowing him to get too much going with his legs.
Fourth down upcoming after that sack, and yeah, it's...
Maybe skip that. To be honest, I'm in one of those yet.
It's a really great game that we will have.
QB sack. Too many Highlanders to pick out to credit that.
4th and 9 upcoming after the timeout on the field. we'll be back for the last minute 23. All right, no timeouts for the Flyers as we come back here. Aragon finding a man over the middle and tries to cut back, unable to do so. That will be a turnover on downs, and now the knees can be taken and seats can be picked up. And got a good-looking crowd here. We haven't said too much about the crowd, but good turnout here for fans that are sitting in the heat, even on the far side too. They were pelted with the sun beginning, and we appreciate everyone for coming out. Appreciate all you at home. Hopefully you are in an air-conditioned room. We are as well, and we are very thankful we are. And we'll be back next week. As the Flyers are going to drop to 1 and 2, the Highlanders are going to improve to 1 and 2. Some substitutions, maybe get some guys some extra playing time here, some guys who maybe don't get in very often. Nope, we're going to get some good old victory formation. So again, one more time before we go, next week St. Andrews is going to be at home, 6:30 game against a Village High School out of Houston. The St. Joseph Flyers are going to play St. Joseph Academy down from Brownsville, playing at home, and that game is at 7 p.m. One more kneel down will be the final score. 22-6 our score. As we finish up here, Campbell takes the final knee. So congratulations to the Islanders, winning game number 1 of the season, and in front of their home fans, a lot of cowbells raining down. And again, safe travels to Victoria for the St. Joseph Flyers. We really appreciate all the fans here. Again, if you can hear the cowbell. So, Tyler Olson's on the call. Matt, we appreciate you spending the time with us. JC, our producer, running camera work. Appreciate you, sir. And we will see you next week. Thank you for spending your Friday night with us. Take care.